just so you all know, the exits are here and here and here. Barred. None of you are leaving. It's my turn to talk. I love being in a room full of people, male, female, don't really care. All the doors are locked. Those of you that are having your post-lunch snooze, stop it. I'm a mother of 5, I can see you, I know what you're doing, and I will call you out. So my name's Mars, but not like the chocolate. Nothing sweet about me, babes. Nothing sweet about me. I'm here to talk about Doulaing, the spice of life. I chose the title. I even worked out what I wanted to say. And then my MacBook died. But it's okay, because I could talk to anybody for hours, really. And yes, that means you. Hours. I live in London. I can take a bus, half an hour, I'm home. I've got no trains to worry about. Buckle up, girls. Buckle up. Oh, no, that's not this speak, that's that speak. Okay, so I'm Mars, not sweet. Mother of 5, as I've already told you. 23, 21, 17, 12-year-old twins. I know, right? So I spend a lot of time with a lot of different people, even just in my own house, all with their own very different personalities. And in the work that we do, I find that I spend a lot of time with people with lots of different personalities. Maddie, I don't like photos. Yeah, is that all right? Did you get one at the back? Yeah? I see. Good. I don't want to interrupt your thinking. I figure let's get the photos done now. So, how did I come into Doulaing? Because I know you're all really keen to hear these things. Basically, I'm nosy. I'm really... No, let's be doulaish about this. I'm interested. I'm interested in people and the things that they do. So the twins were, I don't know, about 7 or 8 months. No, actually a bit smaller. Needed to get out of the house. Yet another coffee morning at the school. Cake, people talking, lots of people to ooh over the baby. So I rocked up with my buggy, parked it, had some cake and just had a gentle snooze in the corner. And then this woman started talking about being a doula, and I said, oh, what? She said, a doula. And I went, freak. So she explained what a doula was, and I thought, okay, I can do this. I like talking to people. They might not like listening, but I like talking. And as my mother says, they're going to bury me talking. Do you know, I told a midwife that once, and she said, no, you won't, because you'll be dead. She really didn't get over. Anyway. And sorry, I was just remembering her face when I went, ooh. And so I found out what a doula was and what a doula did, and I thought, I can do that. How hard is it to, rock up, hold a hand, maybe mop a brow? Push! Oh, good job. Oh, fantastic. I was wonderful. Oh, thank you. Go home. Easy. Love it. Now, I talk a lot, and most people say, I don't understand how you can be a birth doula, Mars, and sort of sit there and just be really quiet in a room. I'm like, I know, right? But it does happen, because I like talking to myself. So I have an internal dialogue for about 40 hours or so in my head. I say some really profound things. Anyway, so that's how I came into Doulaing. And now that I've got you all a little bit more awake than you were when you came in, I can become serious and talk with a good tone. Because I know that's important at the end of a long conference. So, I am a Jamaican.
No, you're not, Mars. You were born in England. You can't be a Jamaican.
Well, I can be, because both my parents are Jamaican, which therefore makes me Jamaican. And if I was English and my parents had me in India, I would be English. Therefore, being born of Jamaican parents in England, I am Jamaican. So let's clear that up. Now, I like responses and not just people throwing things. So I'm going to ask, where are you from? But rather than everybody shouting out individually, because we'll be here till Christmas, and actually, I'm going dancing in September, so I need to leave. How many of you are English? Just show of hands, little shout out. I can tell you're not from the Caribbean. Whenever I'm at a comedy thing and it's black people go, how many people from Jamaica? Woo! Woo! Where are the Africans? Ah! How many from England? Hello. I don't like to stereotype, but people, you made it easy. You made it easy. Right, how many are from Ireland? Oh, look at those. We Jamaicans, we think we're Irish, because you know Guinness, we invented it. No, we did. We drink it with everything. We love Guinness, so clearly we're related. Wales, where are the Welsh? Oh, we've got some Welsh in, lovely. I like the English, the Irish and the Welsh are quite lovely, something. The Scottish? No Scottish people. I think it's because I went to Edinburgh at the end of January. I think they got scared. France. Any French? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. You're off the hook, Sophie. Confit du Canard. My address is... Okay. Italy. Oh, yes. Portugal. Spain. Oh, it feels like the EDN. I'm so excited. Oh, this is lovely. China. Hungary. Germany. Babe, are you on the border and you can't decide? Your head was born in this one and your bum was born in the other. Okay. Oh. American. You lot get everywhere, don't you? Indian. Pakistani. Yes! I'm not, but yes! Jamaican. Woo! Woo! Yeah! My sister at the back. Solution. Because you've got to do a few of the Caribbean islands. Russia. Poland. Yes. Is there a country that you're from that I haven't said? Excellent. Wait.
My mom's from Mauritius and my dad's from Guyana.
Oh, born in the middle of a very warm ocean. Who else? Japan. South Africa. Iran. Hello. South Africa. Argentina. Anguilla. Oh, one of my classes from Anguilla. I wondered why you were so beautiful. Anyone else? Yes? Greek. Greek English. Now, look at that. Oh! Australian. Yeah, like the Americans. Get everywhere, don't you? Like, any Kiwis in? No? So why have I asked that? Well, mostly because I'm going to be writing a thing about diversity in Doula UK, and now I've got my stats, so thanks for that. But, you know, we are doulas, and we go into people's homes. And when... Oh, sorry, was I... we go into people's homes, and when we walk into their homes, we have our own set of cultural mores. We know how we do things and how things are done. And we all, it's not that we kid ourselves, but I think we all live under the illusion that, you know, we're going to walk into something and we are going to be what they need us to be in that place. But sometimes we don't know what that something is. And sometimes they do something and we don't recognise what it is, and we interpret it according to our own social and cultural mores. Now you see, I'm not a fluffy doula. I really am not a fluffy doula. And the ones that know me know that the whole la-la stuff is something that I'm slowly being dragged towards, you know. I'm not... I've got my birthing beads. I've done the birthing beads now. I'm waiting on a baby to be born. I've done all of that stuff, the candles. But that's not really me at all. And I know that when I go to meet clients, the ones that are attracted to me, well, all of them, but the ones that are attracted to me because of who I am. So I did up my website a few years ago, and the girl that does it, because I can't do that stuff, you know, she just said to me, Mars, your website reads like you're choosing your clients. I'm like, job done, job done. Because actually, if someone wants someone fluffier than me, so, and they need, because we all have our different people who we're naturally attracted to, then they'll come to me and they'll run from the hills going, oh my God, doulas are awful, have you seen her? You know. This might surprise you to know, but I like red wine. And I perhaps like the odd glass of Prosecco. outside, right? So people, different types of people are attracted to me because they like what they see in me. But sometimes I attract clients who I'm like, holy crap. But I really like people and I'm really nosy. So I do help them unless I can feel that there's some huge clash, like it would happen. And but what I'm trying to get at is this. Sometimes we think that we are all in the same pot. So years ago, I was talking to someone in Haringey Council and they said, isn't it wonderful, London is a great big melting pot of people. And everyone was like, oh, that's so lovely. And I said, that's rubbish. On camera, being recorded. I said, that's a load of rubbish. Because actually, I don't want to be in a melting pot. Now, there's a woman down here with gorgeous red hair and freckles, and she's South African, and she's so lovely. And I really love her, but I'm not her. And I don't want to be her, and I don't want to be seen as her. So I would prefer to live in a salad bowl, where you've got crunchy bits and soft bits. You lot are the crunchy soft bits. And the spicy bits, and you know, just the different things. So when we doula, when we are going out and we're meeting our families, are we expecting to be part of a melting pot? Are we all going to be the same? You see, we say the same things time and time again. Birth kind of looks like this, and you're all going to say, well, no, because we all know it looks different. But actually, all of our doulaing conversations are exactly the same. And we all say the same things that we sometimes think it's the healthcare professionals, the things that they say. But we say them, but we just use fluffy language. And we make it all nice and lovely. And we don't like to sort of confront something, because that's quite a hard word. But there are people in this world who actually want to hear the harder word, and the softer word doesn't touch them anywhere. So we're talking in the beading, oh, I've put my beads down. We were talking in the birthing bead thingy about, birthing bead line, about, you know, dilation and what it looks like, or what labour looks like for different people and how they all are. And talking about those experiences when you've got the midwife that says, oh, you're only 4 centimetres, compared to the ones that goes, oh, you're 4 centimetres, or the ones that don't put their hands in and wait. And we're, you know, we're lovely, we're doulas, and we know that women don't need hands up vaginas, and why? Leave her alone and let her birth uninterrupted. But for some women, that's a really scary place. And they do actually want to know where they are and what's going on. When your baby's been born, and we don't advise, but we all know that we can't know that. Just me? Oh. Fortunately, my mentor's not here today. To my mentees. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. You do what you need. To my mentees, ignore this next bit. Okay. You know, I advise a little bit. But sometimes people actually want you to say something. And we're so busy being nice and trying to keep everything homogenous and the same that we probably do a little more, damage is the wrong word. We probably don't do as well as we probably could for that family because they actually want to hear something from us. Now, I'm not saying throw out our code of conduct, our philosophy and all of those things and start doing this, because I think it's important that we don't advise and we don't tell people how to be. But I think we need to learn about the families that we're in. So, something personal, which isn't even vaguely to do with birth, but just tells you why my life, compared to the vast majority of you, will always be different. I'm a black woman with 5 black children. I have 2 black sons. Now, we all see what's on social media and the news. Oh God, isn't America awful? But stuff like that happens over here too. Oops, and it's not quite as in your face. And I thought for a long time I'd have to worry about things like that because, you know, this is where I bring my children up, this is where it's really tolerant, etc. So my eldest son is 23 now, and he went to a fabulous all-boys school in North London, uniform, very distinct, the uniform. And on a Saturday morning, he used to take his big blue rugby bag and go to rugby. And he'd wait at the bus stop at the end of our road. And there were very few weeks when he wasn't stopped by a policeman. Where are you going? What are you doing? What's in the bag? Don't be rude like that to me. Now, you're all going to think, oh, God, that's awful. And yes, it actually is awful. But what that means, and the reason I tell you the story of my son, is that we have very different perceptions of the same world that we all live in. We all do. And our clients do as well. And sometimes you walk into a house and you think, that husband's a bit controlling. Is he controlling? There are the ones that are. Don't imagine that I'm saying these people don't exist. But sometimes they have a different set of cultural rules with which they work, which works well for them and sounds different to your ears than it does to her ears. I'm shy, quiet and retiring, as you all know. Why are you laughing? I don't understand. You know, I went to my great-nephew, another personal story, I went down to my great-nephew's school the other day because he's having problems and he's only 4. And a phrase came up that is used, and I'm talking from my experience to black women all the time. Oh, you're being rather aggressive. And that's how you shut black women up. You tell them they're being aggressive. Everyone else is sort of, oh, you've been a bit cross, a bit angry, or you're being... But black women, that's a very total label, a definite label. So I'm not saying I'm talking about race issues. But what I'm talking about is cultural perceptions. Phrases that we use all the time that we think nothing of. And it comes out of your mouth this way, and it goes into an ear that way. So we are going to meet many, many, many different families on our journey. Many different families on our journey. And we know what we want for them. And sometimes as doulas, we are so busy wanting for them that we miss what they want for themselves. Because actually, this is how I'd feel if you did this. So this is how I'm going to respond to you so that you don't feel how I would feel. But how does your client feel? Is she feeling the way that you feel? This is why reflection, I'm a doula mentor, so of course I'm going to talk about this stuff. This is why reflection is so important. Talking about, thinking about, why are we doing the things that we do with the people that we do them? This isn't about you all feeling, God, Mars, that's a really shit life, because I don't. Because just last night, and I knew I'd get it in somewhere, I was at the theatre and I went to see Cymbeline, which is at EastEnders on Crack. It's a Shakespeare play. And when I first read it, I was like, oh my God. And when I saw it on stage, I was like, oh dear Lord. And it really is Shakespeare on Crack. But you know, I have a fabulous life and my children have fabulous lives, even though my sons get stopped on a semi-regular basis walking down the street. And when the riots happened, I just put my children on lockdown. Because you can't go out on those streets because they can take one look at you and you're going to be in trouble, so I'm locking you down. But this is the culture, this is the way that we live, and this is the way that we respond to the country that we're in. Not that we hate being born here and growing here and living here, but there are rules. So let me make it more personal. You are women. Sorry, Simon. You can be an honorary woman. Yeah. That's why I didn't mind you fix. Anyway. So you are women. We are women, and there are times when you walk in places and the way you walk at night, sometimes the way you walk in the day and the avenues you take, you make unconscious choices because you are women. Each family, each individual has a path that they've been walking, things that have happened in and around their lives. Some of those things will be great things, some of those things will be crap things, some of those things will just be meh. But they have a way of walking. But what we do as doulas, and I was telling someone this earlier, she said, well, I'm not sure we do that. And I said, well, I kind of think we do. We want to help women. We want to support women. But sometimes our desire to help is more than the desire to be helped from the other someone. So what I want us to be thinking about is, how do I respond in a different setting? In one that doesn't reflect me and my family. When those clients that come that aren't my tribe or aren't my kind of someone, how do we respond to them? How do we step back a little bit and think, this is me and that's you, actually. What do you see when you walk into someone's home? How does it differ from what you see in your home? Of course, if you did all of these things, you'd be outside the front door for ages going, oh, what else did Ma say I needed to check for? And then it'd never happen. You know, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Be honest with yourself. This is just you talking to you. When you walk into someone's home, and maybe you're in a home where the tradition is to not wear shoes. I've got a gorgeous Japanese dad. Oh, sorry, and his wife. I was there for 3 births. I get Japanese food on tap. It's fantastic. You know, but I know because theirs is a Japanese home to take my shoes off without being asked to do that, because I know that's what they do. I don't know very much about the Pakistani culture, you know, and the Indian culture. How does it work in their homes? So when I get a client that's from somewhere that I don't recognise, I do a little bit of asking of friends and having a look to see. Because actually sometimes it's the simple things that become the stumbling blocks. You know, oh, I don't take my shoes, I don't take my shoes off in my house, I don't take it off in your... But you kind of do. But we're all giving, loving people, and these are things that I assume that you do most of the time anyway. But I'm asking that you look a little bit deeper, particularly if you're working in cities where the population is so much more mixed. For some people in sort of living out in the suburbs, they'd love to have that mix to deal with. They'd love to be able to say, oh my goodness, I've got a Japanese neighbour, a Hungarian neighbour, an Argentinian neighbour, an Iranian neighbour, you know. But what is it that other people do? We live in a multicultural society and we try to live it in a monocultural way. And monocultural is terrible. Because actually, we aren't all the same. So there's this fabulous little picture that I saw that just says it to me. 3 boys are stood watching a football match, and there's a fence in front of them. And one boy, his head stands nicely over the fence, and he looks over the fence and he watches a football match. Now, the rules say we should treat everybody the same, but the boy next to him is a head shorter. So the top of his head is at the top of the fence, but you're treating them the same, but he can't see the football match. And then the next boy down is a head shorter again, and he definitely can't see the football match. So the third boy, you give him 2 boxes, and now he can see. The middle boy, you give him 1 box, and now he can see. And the first boy doesn't need a box because he can see. They've all been treated differently, but by treating them differently, you've enabled them to be the same. And what we do is we think, no, got to treat everyone the same, treat everyone the same, treat everyone the same. Your same is not the same as my same. So we have to be aware of the people that we're with. We need to be aware of the people that we're supporting. And what is it? How do we level the playing field, as it were? One woman wants to hear the word surges. Another woman wants to hear the word contraction. It's not wrong. It's her language, not yours. I did have one client who I did change something that she said. Okay, I'm going to swear. So as the contractions hit, she went, fuck! And I said, darling, if you say shit, you kind of breathe out and your body opens. And she went, shit! Fantastic. All she wanted to do was swear, you see. And then the midwife's like, oh, you don't need to say that, darling. And I said, you can swear if you want to. Just use an open word. Open. See? La. I'm becoming La. A decade of doulaing. Things all sorts. Weird. I tell you. I even tell people to use Mock Sebastian. That's what it's called, isn't it? The stick. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just don't do that. And you don't know what Mock Sebastian is either. Yes! Not just me. I toast you. Chinese herb, yeah. It turns breech babies, darling, and it stinks to high heaven if I've got it right. Or is that clary sage? Anyway, one of them stinks. Something's happening in this house, and it doesn't sit well with you. Does it not sit well with you because it wouldn't happen in my house? You know, me and my, please don't put this on YouTube. Me and my eldest daughter, we've just come through a long period of not seeing eye to eye. And she thought she was the queen bee. Well, not in my house. So it was tricky, but we're fine now. And she knows that I'm the queen bee, and when she has her own home, she'll be the queen bee. But you might listen to the way I talk to my children. So I'm the woman in the supermarket. Not that I ever took them, because wow, really? It's dull enough being in there. Stop it. 1, 2. All these people are going, what's that? Tarquin, oh, Tarquin, oh, Tarquin, stop kicking mummy. Oh, Tarquin. 3. And grown-ups would be like, and my sisters used to say that my children, though my middle one really screwed it up, were the Stepford children, because I'd get to 2 and they'd like instantly fall into line. No, I didn't beat them. Often. Always. Much. Hard. Oh, I didn't beat them. But I knew their currency. But my third one, I'd say 2 and she'd go, 3, 4, 5, smack my bum. I'm like, whoa, I've just learnt a really big lesson here. People are different. You know, you give birth to your first baby, and the first baby is either a dream or a total nightmare in your eyes. So as far as you're concerned, that's how all babies come out. Jake, total dream. Caris, so I'm the queen bee. Whoa, who is this baby? What does she do? She's very different. You might treat your children much gentler than I do. You might have told my queen bee daughter that, darling, it's fine, we'll share the throne. And if that's what you do in your house, that's fine. But if you walk into my house, you might go, oh, I'm not quite sure I like the way she does things. But that's how it is in clients' houses. We might not quite like the way they do things, or we might not say it out loud, but we kind of internalise it a bit. But actually, what are our cultural mores? What are the things that we know and that we believe to be true for us in our lives? How does that help enhance the lives that we're touching so briefly? So briefly. Even if you end up being one of these doulas that does a twin job for 2.5 years. Sorry, I've got kids. You know, it's still a brief moment of time. So how are you shifting the things that are going on inside their house? How's it changing and affecting you? How much of someone else's life is coming onto yours? Do you know the story about stone soup? Oh, I'd at least kind of liked a bit of a yes or a no. Yes. But from your silence, I'm going to assume that you're all far too young. Well, except for you, Els. I'm going to assume that you're all far too young to know. So it's a brilliant, brilliant story. So a man, summarising it, turns up in this village and he's hungry. But everyone in the village is hungry, and everyone keeps their little bit of food for themselves, because everyone's hungry, and there's not enough for everyone to eat. So he puts on a big pot of water in the middle of the village, and then he drops a stone in it. And he starts to taste this soup, and he goes, it's missing a little. What? Because the villagers now, they want to know what he's doing. Oh, if only I know, a bit of onion. Really needs a bit. I've got an onion. I've got an onion. Let's chop up the onion, put it in, stir it around. They share the soup. It's just missing I'm cutting a rather long story short. Eventually, everyone in the village has popped something into this pot and made this amazing soup. Am I moving towards the end of my time? Suckers. This amazing soup. And it's because they've all taken a little bit of themselves and shared it somewhere else, not just held on to the thing that is theirs. One of my dreams for Doula UK is that when I look across a room, I see as many different nationalities as I have today, but a few more colours in here as well. If you there's a perception in the world that we are a very white middle class organisation who work for very white middle class women. We know it's not true, but it's a perception that's out there. So how are we going to change it? How are we going to be changed by the different cultures and people that we come up against? Now, I'm going to end tomorrow with something that I saw. A friend of mine posted it on Facebook, and I messaged her, said, please, can I just read that out to the doulas? And she said, oh, you're so lovely. Sucker. So she was reflecting on her week. I know that I don't look typically English. She is actually English. But surprisingly, this week, I've had 3 different women on 3 different occasions talk to me in their own language. None of them English. Today, a lady from Argentina thought she'd missed her stop on the train and got into a panic because she was obviously distracted with a personal issue. So I reassured her that she was okay, and the next stop was hers. She told me about her son who was in trouble back home, and she was trying to get there to help him. We breathed deeply and smiled. Then she gave me a hug. Another passenger told me how great it was that I spoke Spanish and helped the lady out. I told him, I don't speak Spanish. Multilingual sometimes only needs to be a smile and a little tolerance. So when we work with one another, when we work with our families, even though you might not quite get why they do the things that they do, but you're loving them through it, sometimes it's just a smile and a hug and a little reassurance. And there you are, you're multicultural.